Today we're going to be making this beautiful macrame rose keychain. Hi friends, before we begin, let's go over some of the supplies. We're going to need 3mm rope in green and whatever color you want your rose to be, a D-ring clip keychain, and a macrame board and T-pins are very helpful. And of course, you're going to need some sharp scissors. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to start by making the head of the rose. So first we're going to lay our 3 pink cords down in an asterisk shape. Now if you're not an expert, I do recommend pinning it right in the very center, because the knot that we're going to tie is a little bit of a tricky one. We're going to tie a crown knot. Grab one of the strands of cord and fold it across its neighbor. Then you want to take that neighbor and fold it across the next one. And you want to keep going around the circle until you get to the very end. When you reach the end, you want to take your very last cord and thread it right through the very first loop that you created. You should have something that resembles a pinwheel. Next, very carefully, you want to go ahead and cinch up the slack. And it does help to take your time. Once you have it all tightened up, you want to go ahead and create that asterisk symbol again. And we're going to repeat the process one more time. So that's 2 rounds of crown knots. And again, once you get to the very end, you want to thread that right through your first loop and cinch up your slack. Okay, so go ahead and recreate that asterisk symbol again. Now this round we're going to do the same thing, but don't cinch it up. Because for this third round, we're going to create a double crown knot, and that's what's going to give that shape of the petals. Okay, so don't cinch it up all the way, you want to stop here. To make it a double crown knot, what you want to do is take one of your strands of cord, and then thread it through the loop of its neighbor, and then grab its neighbor and thread it through the loop next to it. And you want to repeat this process going all the way around till you get to the very end. Okay, so once you get to the very end, the last cord might be a little bit tricky. Follow the cord right next to it and then send it right through the loop at the very start. Now we can go ahead and cinch it up, but cinching it up is a little bit trickier this time. What I like to do is cinch it up very slowly on the board here, as far as I can without it folding over onto itself. And once I get to that point where I feel like it's gonna start messing up, I unpin it from my board and I start cinching it up in my hand. But there's a trick here. You want to pinch it right in the center so that it prevents it from folding over onto itself. And again, take your time with this part. Once you have it all cinched up, it should look something like this. Once again, you want to lay it back down onto your board and put it in that asterisk shape. And because that last round was so much fun, we're going to do it one more time. So for your 4th round, we're going to go ahead and tie another double crown knot. Now I'm going to stop right here to show you if you have something that looks like this, where you can't quite cinch it up when you're pulling on the cord. What you want to do is trace out where that cord is leading to and cinch it up right there. And then you can go ahead and pull on the cord to finish cinching up all the slack. Alright, so now your rose is really starting to take its shape. Now what you want to do is place it upside down and pin it to your board. Create your asterisks, and we're going to tie a regular crown knot right on the back side. And cinch up your slack. Divide your cords in half and grab your keychain, and quickly make sure that it's in good working order. Then you want to thread your top 3 cords right through the center of your D-ring. And I do find it helps to pin your keychain down just so it doesn't move around. Recreate that asterisk shape again. And finally, we're going to create our last 2 rounds of crown knots. As you're working, just pretend that that keychain ring is not there at all. Now your keychain ring should be perfectly secure to the back of your flower. Alrighty, next you want to grab your green cord and lay it down horizontally. Grab your flower keychain and place it over top and pin it down. And what we're going to do is tie 2 square knots. To tie a square knot, you want to make a loop on the left side, and then with the right side, you want to place that over top of the tail, behind the pink cords, and through the loop of your left. Cinch up the slack to the top. Now this is only half of your square knot, so to complete the other half, you want to do the same thing but to the opposite side. So this time you want to make a loop on your right side, and then with your left side, you want to place that behind the pink and then through the loop of your right. And that is how you tie a square knot. So you want to repeat the same thing one more time right directly underneath your first square knot. Now, before we make our bow, what we want to do is straighten up the back of our project. I'm not too fond of these great big gaps here on the top. So to fix that and to make it look a little bit more seamless, what I'm going to do is go through each pink cord and give it a little bit of a pull. As you can see, it really starts straightening up the top of our flower right above where we tied those square knots. It really makes the back look almost seamless. Okay, now we can flip it back over and pin it to our board. With the green cord, we're going to tie a bow. So grab the leftmost cord and make a loop. Then with the right cord, you want to wrap it behind and then through the loop that we just created right here. And give it a tug. Now make the loops a little bit longer than what you want it to end up being because we're going to tie a double knot. This double knot will help ensure that it won't go anywhere. And once you have your bow all straightened out, you can go ahead and trim the bottom fringe. Now, if you enjoyed this macrame flower keychain, I happen to have an entire playlist of macrame flowers. I'll leave the link to the playlist on the screen now, and I'll see you over there.